We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Listmas. Oh, that
That's
was
it
so
there.
clever. I came up with it in as I was saying we wish you a Merry Christmas. I was like, Listmas.
That was good. That was good. I like it. I
Thank you.
like it. Merry
Was my
Christmas.
Christmas?
Merry Listmas.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan,
Merry listening, Miss. I'm Katie.
and this is the list. And we're talking about a very special episode today. We're jumping way forward in the list
Way forward.
to discuss this movie just because it's Christmas, and I watch this movie. Well, not every Christmas, but a lot of Christmases lately. And the movie we're going to be talking about today is It's a Wonderful Life, starring Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed.
That darn Donna Reed.
And I even got the color version just
He did.
for Katie.
Well, I had already seen It's a Wonderful Life in black and white, so it's not like I didn't experience it in the way it was meant to be experienced.
True. But you complained so much, I had to get the color just for you.
I've never complained a day.
We're going back. We're doing a recap episode, and I'm going to just make a clip of you going, I hate black and white movies. I hate black and white movies. I hate black and white movies.
I'm just such a pleasant person. I don't really see myself as complaining.
I didn't say you weren't
if you
pleasant.
say so,
I just said
if you insist that I complained, then
about the black and white films.
yeah. I know. Just thinking.
So what are some of your favorite Christmas movies besides this, just in general?
My family was not a watch Christmas movies around Christmas kind of family. We didn't really do that. So growing up, I had seen like Home Alone.
Classic. It's a great one. Yeah.
Really, that's about all I have to say.
Home Alone. Well,
Yeah.
since you've seen some now, but what you've seen more now.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know why I didn't expect this question. It's a good question.
Well, I'll tell you.
Yeah, you tell me yours.
I'll give you a moment to think.
Okay.
And I'll tell you some of my ones that I usually like to watch around Christmas time. White Christmas with Bing Cosby. Like, I've watched that since I was a little kid.
Is that the one that's like sisters?
Yeah.
Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
There were never such devoted sisters. I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a great one. I love that one. I used to try to find like a version of the Christmas Carol because I always try.
Carol.
I love the book.
Yeah.
It's such an easy read, and I think really captures what Christmas is all about.
You know what's so funny?
But I've never really found a good version that I like. There was a version. It was like made for TV. You just mean
in general of watching the Christmas Carol movie, you've never found one that was satisfactory to you?
No, I found one, and I think it was a made for television movie with Patrick Stewart. And it was the only one that I remember that I kind of liked. That and the Bill Murray one, Scrooge.
Yeah. Even Bill Murray, man, that freaking Groundhog Day, my gosh.
Bill Murray's amazing.
Yeah, he's great, but Groundhog Day, my worst nightmare.
No, it's amazing. There used to be a Christmas movie called, I think it was called Christmas Every Day, and it was basically Groundhog's Day,
gosh.
but a Christmas version. You would love that one.
That's great. I can't wait.
We're gonna watch it this year.
We'll watch that. Fantastic. You know how I always watch those Hallmark Christmas movies that come out? I like eat those things up. Yeah. I love those. There was one where a girl has to keep going on a date over and over and over again and finally get it right. I did not even make it to the third date. Like the third time the date repeated, I was like, no, I don't want to see this. I'm turning it off. It's funny that you say that about A Christmas Carol, because as we were watching It's a Wonderful Life this year, I thought this is just such your kind of movie. It is A Christmas Carol in a way, about somebody being able to see what life could have been or what life would have been like without them. It just is obviously not exactly a carbon copy of A Christmas Carol, but it has so many similarities and such a similar uplifting message that I just thought that while we were watching this movie. I was like, no wonder Ryan loves this movie so much. It's very much his kind of Christmas Carol kind of movie.
Yeah, I love this movie just because there's power behind this movie. Like,
Yeah.
to me, it's inspiring.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
is.
Is it your favorite Christmas movie?
I think it is. I think it is.
What's up there with it? White Christmas?
I don't think there's another Christmas movie that has the impact that this one has. White Christmas is just kind of a good, feel
It's a
good,
fun,
little
sweet-
fun.
Yeah.
Got some good little musical
Lord
numbers.
help the mister.
And so is a lot of the other Christmas movies that are out there, like Home Alone
Yeah.
and The Grinch, and
Yeah, we
and-
just rewatched The Grinch, huh? That was cute. That's a cute little message too.
you know, it's debatable whether Die Hard is actually a Christmas movie.
I saw Die Hard for the first time, like last Christmas, I think we watched it. That was my first time
Yeah.
ever seeing Die Hard because somebody said that. They're like, Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
No,
And I was like, where do you...
It took
that
place
was my
in
first
Christmas,
time...
but it's
That was
not
my
a
first
Christmas
time
movie.
involved in that discourse. Like, apparently that's a thing people talk about and joke about. That was the first time I had ever heard it. So we watched Die Hard that year. I remember that. What do you think your favorite Christmas tradition is?
We don't have any.
We have a million Christmas traditions.
I'm just kidding. Favorites? I don't know. I like making the gingerbread cookies with everybody, or
Yeah.
gingerbread houses with everybody.
Well, we do
I like
both
doing
every
that.
year. We make gingerbread cookies and decorate them one night, and then we make gingerbread houses every year too. The
I like
gingerbread
doing that.
houses are. I don't know how I feel about building gingerbread houses. it's
It
hard.
was kind of a disaster this year.
I feel like it's always a disaster trying to get everything to hold
Mine
together.
Amazing. It's like an
Yeah, well.
architectural masterpiece, though.
Yeah.
Yours did not hold together very well. I will say the icing you were using
Yeah.
was different from mine, and it just like fell apart.
Also, I wasn't
That's
just
weird.
building my house either.
True.
I like driving around and looking at Christmas lights. That's always fun to me. But probably my favorite Christmas tradition is the gingerbread cookies. I really like that. Baking and cutting them out and making the dough and then decorating them. I really like that.
That and just decorating our tree, and then
Mm-hmm.
usually we'll read the Christmas story at some point.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, so I like doing all those things.
Yeah. I also like the tradition of unwrapping gifts for myself
Mm.
and receiving gifts for myself
Mm.
and using gifts that I received for myself.
Mm. Every year.
Every year.
Every year.
We also, I guess one of our other Christmas traditions is I always cook a really big Thanksgiving, really big. But we've never, ever since we live, maybe it's been a
I think
couple
it's when
years.
we started in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
We would just go
started
to this really
getting
good
takeout.
Chinese takeout.
Yeah.
And
on Christmas.
I actually love that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We would pick a place that was going to be open on Thanksgiving.
It's
I
less
mean, on
stressful,
Christmas.
and you can just
Yeah.
chill and relax. You don't have to worry
Everybody
about a big
talks
meal.
about the stuff they got, and we eat and call our family because usually we're not anywhere near our family.
Mhm.
But I think since we've moved here, we have to cook on Christmas now because nothing's open.
Well, there will probably be some Chinese restaurants open, but
They're
we
really
have
bad.
not found one that we like yet.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Well, for people who have not seen It's a Wonderful Life, it stars Jimmy Stewart, who plays the character of George Bailey. And basically, the movie starts out with a bunch of different voices. You're going, you know, they're basically praying, saying,
Praying
"Dear
for
God,
him.
please help George Bailey tonight." And you don't really know why. It kind of opens up, and then it all these prayers are going up to heaven, and you see the little stars talking to each other, and it's supposed to be God and Jesus and Joseph, and then they call this little
Clarence.
angel in. He's a second class angel. He hasn't got his wings yet, and his name is Clarence. And they ask him, or they assign him to go help this guy, George Bailey. And they're like, before you go, you need to take a look at his life so you'll understand this guy before you go down there. And it
was
takes you
very
through.
clever. He was like, I only have an hour. And then cleverly, the next hour of the film is you learning about George Bailey's life.
Yeah, from
with
him as
Clarence.
a kid all the way up to adulthood.
Yeah.
And basically he's this kid who, he's not this kid. He's this guy. He grows up to be this guy who wants to go out and see the world and experience the world and leave this crummy little town that he's from, or he thinks it's crummy, and go out and experience all there is. You know, become a millionaire, travel the world, etc., etc. And things just happen to him every time he's about to leave that kind of keep him where he is. And not necessarily, some are bad things, like his father dies or has a stroke, and he has to kind of take over the family business. He doesn't get to go to college.
Great Depression happens.
Because
the rush
of that.
on the banks happen.
Yeah, and really it's just duty. He feels like it's almost like his duty like keeps him back from going and experiencing the things that he wants to. And he's just a guy that ends up doing a lot of good for a lot of people. And then the Great Depression hits, and his struggling business that he's trying to keep above water has an accident, and he can't pay the bills basically. And there's a guy who basically owns the whole town, Mr. Potter. He been trying to put him out of business, and is ever since his father owned the business, and this is his opportunity to do so. And George Bailey, is playing all this stuff in his head. Oh, there's going to be a big scandal. And so basically he decides to take his life. And he's standing at a bridge, and this angel Clarence shows up, and the angel actually jumps in the water, and George jumps in and saves him. And basically they get to talking, and George wishes that he's never been born. And so then they show him what his life is like if he had never been born. And I won't spoil the rest of it for you. I mean, most people have probably seen this movie. If not, go watch it. It's great. But I love this movie because it shows, it's powerful. It shows not only a great actor.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal actor. I really like Jimmy Stewart.
He's got so much emotion in his voice and in his facial expressions. Like him, that scene where he comes home after knowing that the bank or his loan company is out of business, and his kids are all doing stuff, getting ready for Christmas. And he is just like in another world of pure agony.
Mm-hmm.
And you just see it on his face. He's not doing anything. It's just his face. He's just somewhere else. And so that really brings out some strong emotions there. It's really touching. And then the other powerful thing about this movie is just the message. Like, one man, you don't know the impact that one person can have on so many people around him. And I love that because it's inspiring. And he didn't think his life really amounted much to anything because he never became super rich. He never went out and saw the world like he wanted to. But he had this wonderful family and this nucleus of people all around him in this town who loved him, and that he doesn't even realize until he needs them. And I think that's just beautiful. That's one of the reasons I love this film. The other other reason is it's one of the few memories I remember having with my grandpa as he was sitting, kind of dying from melanoma. I remember sitting as a kid, just laying in the bed with him, and we watched this movie. And so that's another reason it's really special.
I wonder what that was like for your grandpa.
I don't know.
To watch such a significant movie when you maybe know you don't have much time left. I don't know. I wonder what that was like.
Don't know. He was probably like, kids, sit down and watch this movie. I don't remember.
Probably not.
I just remember sitting there holding his hand and us watching the movie. But
probably he was just really happy to have you guys there. But yeah,
this is a great movie. Mm-hmm. I love it anyway. What are your thoughts?
Who wouldn't love this movie? You'd have to be like a cold-hearted monster to not love this movie. I feel like it does such a great job of sending a gorgeous message, and I think everybody who is an adult. Let me qualify by saying, I think once you get to a certain point in life, no matter what you've done, you felt that feeling of, what even is the point in me being alive, or what have I even done, or what have I amounted to? You had that conversation with yourself, whether like George Bailey, you've been stuck in your same town for your entire life, or you've traveled the world, and you're always going to have that what if moment of, did I do enough? Am I enough? Do I even help anybody? Is there even any point in me being here? And unfortunately, those very sad thoughts of, maybe everybody would just be better if I wasn't here. And it's a great message of, even though it doesn't always look like it, and even though the moments are sometimes quiet, you make a difference in a lot of people's lives. And no matter how small your impact seems to you, it can make a world of difference to so many other people. So it's a beautiful movie with a wonderful message. And surprisingly, I did not cry. After I've cried the past 3 weeks in a row, I am amazed that I made it through that movie unscathed. But I think part of it is that I've seen it before. So.
What would you score the acting? So we're not really going to rate this to show people because we were so far ahead. But when we get to it, it's like number 24 on the list, and we're only
we got a long time. It'll probably be
now.
Christmas next year by the time we're actually ranking this movie.
Yeah,
but
we did want to just get it out and talk about it since we just recently watched it.
I think this is acting in an era that always has a weird feel to me. The way people speak makes it seem so hard for it to be genuine, but I hate even saying that because it's such a emotionally genuine movie. But just the affect that people have now is so different that it's hard for me always to score acting in these eras. But I would honestly probably give it, just for George Bailey, I'd probably give it a 10. For if I want to mix everybody else in there, it would still be above a 9, probably a 9.5. It's a phenomenally acted movie.
Yeah, I think probably a 9.5 for me as well. So the story and plot,
10. What a gorgeous story.
This is a 10 for me just because of the message, but it's also kind of
fun to watch
kind of a perfect movie because every scene is significant for a reason. And then they tie it all up nicely with a bow at the very end, like everything. And so there's a complete circle on stuff that you see from the beginning to the end, and it ties up so nicely on top of a really powerful, beautiful message. So it's a 10 for me. Cinematography,
3.
3? I don't know if I'd rate it that low.
Let me tell you why.
But I never noticed this until this time.
So bad.
There's some really bad editing parts in this movie, and it happens
all the time.
At least 10 times. At least 10 times where like there's a cut in a scene.
You can tell when they had to stop and start again and put one take with another take. You can see where they literally have cut the film. And I don't literally rated a 3, but
it's kind of like
it's very
the editing
distracting.
for our show, but a little bit better.
Except we have the technology they do.
Yeah.
Somebody said the other day, stop cutting stuff from the show. They were like, just let the stuff be there. It's so funny when you guys are, even if you're messing up or whatever, just let it be there. But I think they were like, it makes it so genuine and fun to watch. But I think they were actually saying, no, we don't. We cut like silences or whatever.
We cut silences or like
when you said African Queen like 80 times.
Yeah.
And couldn't get it out.
Or like stuff that like if we've said it a million times and we're just saying it again over and over again, like there's no point in repeating that.
But my point is maybe they didn't actually think it was genuine. Maybe they were like, your editing is so bad that it's best just for you to leave it in.
Probably. It's probably true. But we don't do much editing. But
no, we don't.
Yeah, I think that really detracted from the film for me. So I would maybe like a 4.5 as far as the cinematography.
It was bad.
Editing goes.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I mean, there's some really beautiful scenery. There's some
the river
scenes
shot
where he's like running through the snow and looking at the town, and some really cool scenes that they had set up.
Yeah.
And dang it, we're going to edit that. No, we're not.
Leave it.
We're just going to leave it just to show. But I think it's a little below average. So you still giving it a 3? Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
It was bad.
It was pretty bad. Even in some of the older movies, like Wuthering Heights, you know, some that are
wasn't
over
that bad.
I don't remember them being cuts
and
that
bad. Our number one for a while, Double Indemnity, was had none of that. Not that I remembered.
I'm curious whether this was like a low budget film back in the day or not.
I wonder. Jimmy Stewart in it? Probably not. Donna Reed? They're both really big names. I doubt
huge actors.
As a side note, the Gilmore Girls has an episode about Donna Reed. I guess there was a show called The Donna Reed Show where she was basically a housewife or whatever.
Yeah.
My exposure to Donna Reed is this movie and Gilmore Girls. So that's all I got. Rory dresses up as Donna Reed or whatever and pretends to be a housewife and cooks a big dinner and stuff. That's why I keep saying that darn Donna Reed, because that's the episode name. Anyway, just a little fun Gilmore Girls fact there.
We are editing that out of our show.
Let's see if I can.
Because no one,
not if I have any say
ever
over
wants to talk about Gilmore Girls.
I'm going to see if I can start slipping in Gilmore Girls facts into every episode, and how many I can get past you into the episode without you editing them out.
We won't this won't last very long. No. Wow factor.
A 10. Just the feel of the movie, the emotion it evokes, the way it captures the pain of having to take care of your family your entire life. He took care of his brother when he was a little boy, sacrificed his hearing for him, took care of his father and sacrificed his dreams for him, took care of his mother financially after his father died, took care of his wife and children even when his world was collapsing. It's a movie that really illustrates what it's like to have to be a caregiver to the point where you sacrifice everything you want to take care of the people you love. And never once is he like, he wishes he could travel, but I don't know. I think that's reality for a lot of people. You spend your life caring for other people. And I also love the beauty of when the time comes around, even though you don't really think you've done that much, all these people show up and show what a difference you made in their life and how they're ready to return the favor.
I think it's part of growing up too, is like you have dreams and aspirations, and then your dreams make way for more important dreams.
But also,
if that makes sense.
It does make sense, but
it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to put those completely to the side. But there's stuff in
Right.
life that happens, and you put the things
Hmm.
that are more important to you above those things.
I love the relationship they portrayed too between Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed, the way that she tried so hard to make his dreams continue to come true, even when it was their honeymoon and he wanted to go travel. So they were going to spend all that money on traveling. And then she saw that his dream after that was to save the bank. And so she gave all that money away to save the bank. And then she realized they weren't going to actually be able to travel. So she made it seem like his dream came true by creating all these fake travel places for them to go to. And I loved their relationship in the way that even though it wasn't feasible for them to make their actual dreams come true, they worked hard to make the very best of what they had and still bring happiness into their lives. I don't know, because I think you're right. It is kind of this reality of whether it's because you started a family or whether it's because you have elderly parents to take care of or siblings to take care of or whatever it is, there are some times in life where you have to give up on the big giant dreams you have. Like maybe that can't be a reality right now, but you can find ways in your life to make those dreams come true the best you can and have happiness with what you can do. I like that part of the movie too, the message of finding happiness where you are.
Yeah, and one of the things that struck me is like that I hadn't really seen the previous times is that he was getting really bitter.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like he was getting really bitter about some of his dreams that weren't coming true. And then after he had this life-changing experience, he changed with it as well. He
The
learned to
stairwell
yeah, yeah.
was the
Yes.
perfect
That's
representation. He keeps walking by the stairwell, and when he walks by he grabs onto the stairwell and a piece of it comes off every time, and you just see him getting more and more and more angry about it. This stupid old house, this stupid place I have to live, this stupid life where nothing works, and I'm not where I want to be, and I can't travel, and I hate it so much. And then he has his experience and comes back and touches the stairwell and it comes off and he's like kissing it and so happy. And this house, I love this house and I love this life and I'm so glad to be here.
I think that's probably the exact moment I realized that, and I was just like, "Wow, this is great. This
Perspective,
is
really,
this is a
really
guy
about perspective.
who's died and come back to life and become a new man. Like
Yeah.
what a better Christmas message is there than
Yeah.
that?"
People always say that you should imagine, like, close your eyes and imagine that you're 80 and what your life would be like when it's 80 and how much you're going to miss the life you have now and how desperate you would be to go back and just have one more day in your life at this point, and then open your eyes and be like, you're here. You are at this point that you're going to wish for so much in however many years. What would you do? How would you enjoy it? Like, what wouldn't it be like gold to you to be able to be here? And I think this movie is the like encapsulation of that feeling and that message.
Yeah, helps you gain a better
Yeah. Don't edit
perspective,
that out. Don't edit
a
that
better perspective on life, right? Because
out. Uh-huh.
it's tough to like realize that you're in that moment. That good old days are here. Like especially
Andy Bernard says that, and it
when
makes
they're
me
not
cry
there.
every time.
So
He's like, I wish somebody would have told me they were the good old days while
while
they
we
were
were in them,
happening. Yeah.
yeah,
It's hard. You get so mired down in life. It doesn't matter what you chose to do, whether, like, eventually life becomes rote and you feel stuck in what you're doing. And it's very difficult to get yourself out of that poor old me mentality or that mentality of being stuck when maybe sometimes you worked for this life so hard and you finally got it and now you're like, oh, this is really hard. Or you had a dream and the time has passed that you can go for that dream and you feel like, man, this is all I'm ever going to have in life. And I don't know, there are so many beautiful things about life that get dimmed by the desire for something else or something better and bigger. So I think this movie is all about perspective, and is wonderful. A wonderful movie.
Wonderful movie.
About a wonderful life.
Well, let us know what you thought about the movie. Obviously, we're over the moon for it. We want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And let us know what your favorite Christmas movie is. And we'll have to check those out. Maybe we'll make it part of our tradition as well. Okay, bye.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Viewing Year. I'm so clever. How do I come up with these things? Okay, bye.